Hey, it's Drybear. Today I want to talk about the virtue stats in Lost Ark. As I'm sure you've noticed if you've been playing Lost Ark since launch, this game has so much horizontal content to it that you can easily miss or get lost in it until you rediscover it and then hit a wall not knowing what's going on. You're probably searching for every way to min-max your character, and much of that will take you through some of the back-end activities like developing your rapport with NPCs for the rewards, filling out your adventurer's tome, and collecting things like giant hearts, omnium stars, masterpieces, ignia tokens, and makoko seeds. So today I'd like to answer a question that gets asked a lot on my stream and in my video comments. What is the virtue stat system? And how do I raise my virtue stats? And one of the most common walls that people hit is with Blackfang's Rapport. She has a pretty high check for charisma and courage, and if these stats are not high enough, you will hit a wall that says you must complete the quest, and when you hit the quest, you're not hitting these virtue stat check requirements. So today we're going to talk about how to raise your virtue stats, all the sources you can get them from, and what you should look out for. So let's go. But first, if you have any questions or comments for me, you'll find me live every day on twitch.tv/Drybear. Who knows? I might even be streaming right now. Now, first things first, if you haven't been using your Codex to locate things in the game, you definitely should do so. You activate your Codex by pressing Alt and then D, and this is your compendium for anything in the game that you're looking for. So you want to familiarize yourself with this if you haven't already. The biggest virtue stat gains are going to come from permanent stat increases for those virtue stats. If you go to your Codex and go to character growth, the last four down here are going to be kindness, charisma, courage, and wisdom. So in the case of Blackfang needing courage and charisma, you can click on these two, and then you can click through all the different unique sources that you can get for the charisma potion. Each one is going to be 10 charisma. And by clicking through these, you'll see that some of these come from Rapport. So if you get to the max rank with Yule in Anika, Port City, Chenghun, you can actually get a 10 charisma potion. Some of these come from quests, which you can locate by their name. Some are by reputation, which are your daily quests, and you can find them by either the quest name or the reputation name listed here. But you can also get small amounts of your virtue stats by completing achievements in the game. I'll refer you to maxroll.gg for this one. They have a great compendium here. It shows off all the different achievements and how many of each stat that you will get. Some of these are for defeating guardians or breaking shells or reaching levels on certain things, or even playing songs. But you can click by the category here: wisdom, courage, charisma, and kindness. You can figure out where most of these are coming from. And while you won't get the plus 10 that the potions will give you, you will get plus 1, plus 2, and sometimes plus 3, and these will add up over time. Additionally, you'll find them by completing your adventurer's tome, which entails going through each continent, completing all the areas, finding all the vistas, collecting all the collectibles, mastering the rapport for all the NPCs, finishing the dungeons. You can see as you click through these and you start clicking through, you'll see there's wisdom here in Rowendell, and you'll start collecting these permanent increases. And the last source is going to be cosmetics. And I wish it wasn't this way. Some cosmetics can be earned in game, but some that you acquire either through the shop or through blue crystals, you'll be able to get extra virtue stats on this. And it's kind of, it's nice that it's not as pay to win as it probably could be, but having these skins is exceptionally valuable because it does give you those valuable stats. So for example, the founder skin that I have on my war dancer here gives me a bunch of charisma that helps me meet those checks that I need for rapport. So if you're ever wondering, when you click on new skins that are coming out, make sure you check the stats on them. You can even find the skins that drop in game, and you'll find different accessories like the goggles that you get for completing the tutorial. And as you play the game longer and longer, you'll start storing up more skins that have different stats on them. And when you need to meet a specific virtue stat check, you can swap over whatever skins that you have. When looking at the collectibles, you can see the makoko seeds. If you click on the rewards, you'll find a kindness potion here, which is some extra kindness. 2 giant's hearts will get you 10 wisdom, and you'll get a boatload of virtue stats by completing rapport and advancing rapport for all the NPCs in the game. Now, the simplest way to put rapport is it's just reputations from other MMOs. You'll go to these NPCs, you'll talk to them, and every day you get a chance to progress their reputation or their rapport, and you'll get further and further along, and they'll give you more and more rewards. But throughout the world, all these NPCs have tons of rewards, and many of them will have one virtue stat increase of 10. And while there are specific NPCs that give you huge benefits, Nia is one of them in Punika, You'll get an Omnium star from her, which is huge. She'll also give you some charisma. So a lot of people focus on Nia. Blackfang allows you to make the Astray, and it gives you the soul, and you can use her as a crew member on your Astray for fast travel. So some of these big NPCs, but they take a lot of rapport to complete. And one thing the game isn't very good at telling you is that these NPCs have varying levels of rapport required to complete their total rapport gain. For example, Nineveh, which has one of the giant's hearts that you'll want to collect, has a maximum rapport of a whopping 102,000 rapport required to complete. Compare that to someone like Elia in East Lutera, which is a total rapport of 5,900, which is around 5% or 95% less than Nineveh or some of the older ones. You can see by completing these smaller NPCs, you can rack up a lot of these virtue stats. Charisma 10 coming from Elia. Now, I'll leave links to both the Mobalytics Lost Ark page and the maxroll.gg page in the description. Go check out the resources. They're amazing. But I think this graphic that they have on Mobalytics is by far one of the best I have ever seen for the game, and I highly recommend that you use it. This is a Rapport NPC reference sheet, and it's using these images as an easy way to keep track of it. So you can see that the 4 virtue stats here, charisma, courage, kindness, and wisdom, these are the 10 value stat potions. These are like the key, the legend here. And if you scroll down, you'll see that Beatrice gives you a charisma potion. Nia gives you a charisma potion. You can keep scrolling. You can find a courage potion from Elin. So it kind of has an easy visual reference to figure out which NPCs that you want to go for every day. And it also lists out their favorite gift that you can use for rapport. It gives their virtue checks that you need, and also the amount of rapport that you need to complete their total rapport. So in the case of Blackfang that we saw before, where I needed 260 courage, 260 charisma as listed here, I can use this sheet or this page as a reference. Now, what I recommend you do is scroll through these and look at the XP required, which is the rapport XP required for each of these, and look at the rewards. Elia is a great one to get done quickly. You get 10 charisma for dealing with her, and she's 5,900. Neria is an excellent one, more charisma coming from Yule. You only need 17,000 rapport. Daybreaky Javern, same thing. So you can scroll through all of these, find the NPCs, and figure out which ones are going to give you the best bang for your buck rapport-wise, and start working on those every single day. And rather than remake these resources, I'd rather just direct you to these, because again, I think they did an awesome job putting all this together. So if you go to maxroll.gg, you'll find a lot of these sources listed. You can see even down in the Virtue Potions area, you can find completing daily quests, the rapport that you'll need, the places you need to go, and you can click through all the resources as they had them all linked in here as well. And again, all of these resources are linked down in the description. I'll leave a comment down below as well so you can find them. But I wanted to help raise awareness for these virtue stats as people are getting stuck trying to make their Astray or reach certain virtue checks in the game. And I hope this helps clear it up. If you enjoyed yourself today, leave a like down below. You can support me and my work on Patreon and view Patreon exclusive content, link in the description. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one.